I will not hide from you that I express my skepticism of any deal with Iran because, frankly, Iran is reliable on one thing. They lie and they cheat. But I said that if a deal is to be reached, it should have several components that we believe are important not only for the security of Israel, but for the security of the world. There shall be no enrichment capability, not stopping the enrichment process, but dismantle the equipment and the infrastructure that allows you to enrich in the first place.
US President Donald Trump has told troops who took part in the special operation in Venezuela that the country's enemies are fearful of the US. The president is shifting his focus from South America to Iran, where another US aircraft carrier has been deployed.
As he trekked to Fort Bragg to honor U.S. soldiers who helped capture Maduro, mixed messages from President Trump on Iran, indicating Friday morning negotiations are going well.
I think they'll be successful.
But welcoming the idea of regime change by afternoon.
Do you want regime change in Iran?
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
All week, Trump has reiterated he'd rather make a deal than pursue military action, but nevertheless pulled the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, from Venezuela to the Middle East.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it.
According to the New York Times, the options Mr. Trump has been weighing include military action targeting Iran's nuclear program and ability to launch ballistic missiles, according to 3 U.S. officials. He's also considering options that would include sending American commandos to go after certain Iranian military targets. Trump says Iran's nuclear sites were obliterated by Operation Midnight Hammer, and the targets now would be different.
Well, you could get whatever the dust is down there. That's really the least of the mission.
The German Chancellor is warning the global rules-based order no longer exists as world leaders gather at the annual Munich Security Conference, including US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Let's get more on this. Joining me now live is political scientist at the University of Otago, Professor Robert Patman. Robert, it's great to see you. A lot of developments happening in Europe at the moment. The US has reportedly sent a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East. Tensions are rising with Iran as the US works with the nation for a nuclear deal. Do you think the United States could take further military action against Iran?
Well, I think that's the message that Mr. Trump's administration is seeking to convey. It should be recalled that the Trump administration recently had informal talks indirectly with the regime in Tehran. And that was followed with discussions between Mr. Trump and Mr. Netanyahu on Wednesday in Washington. I think we've just heard that the aircraft carrier, the Gerald R. Ford, the largest of its kind in the world, has been dispatched, but it'll take about 3 weeks to get close to Iran from its current position. So it does seem to be that Mr. Trump is looking for a deal with the Iranian leadership, and he believes this military pressure will help.
There was a military build-up. These are live pictures, firstly, coming out of Munich at the moment, that conference ongoing as we go to air. I do want to continue talking about Iran, though, for the moment. Now, there was a military build-up by the US head of Venezuela's leader, that regime change, which was forced by the US. Do you think this is the kind of posturing the US is making now when it comes to Iran? Do you think it's more of a threat, or do you think they're serious here?
No, I think it's more of a tactical threat. Iran's a big country. About 60% of the population is under 25. It's got a population in excess 90 million. I think that Mr. Trump wouldn't want, in a year in which the midterms are being held in the United States, to get bogged down in exactly the sort of war he said his administration would avoid. It would be a very messy conflict indeed. And what's interesting here is that I think Mr. Trump is trying to put psychological pressure on the regime to be more flexible, as Mr. Trump would see it. The sticking point seems to be that Mr. Netanyahu and I think Mr. Trump want the Iranians to negotiate around ballistic missiles as well as curbing their nuclear enrichment program. The Iranians want to confine the negotiations just to nuclear enrichment. They don't have a problem, they say, with not having a nuclear weapon, but they do want guarantees around nuclear enrichment, which would enable the sanctions to be lifted that are currently in place from the United States.
And last summer, I ordered devastating strikes on Iran's key nuclear facilities and something that was called Operation Midnight Hammer. That's exactly what it was. 1 o'clock in the morning at midnight with no moon. You couldn't see a thing. And I got the message, sir, they have entered Iranian airspace. And I got to see it all take place. It was amazing. The B-2s, the flying wing. And I didn't understand the B-2s until then, but now I understand it very well. So does he. We just ordered a lot more. The super-duper new model, right? But they flew in. They were totally undetected. And those pilots, I met the pilots. I had them down to the White House, the Oval Office. I gave them all medals, actually. And I said, did you really like doing this stuff? You know, they're flying into very hostile territory. And they said, sir, we couldn't wait. In fact, they wanted to wait. You saw that what was happening. People wanted to wait. And the pilots and their commander called me and said, sir, we're ready to go. Don't worry about that. That weather's nothing. We want to go, sir. We want to go. Now, if it were me, I'd say, take it easy. Let's relax. But, you know, you people have a lot of courage. Amazing, amazing. So we gave them medals. But that was Operation Midnight Hammer, achieving total obliteration of the Iran nuclear potential capability, totally obliterated. And think every single one of those 100,000-pound bombs hit its target, which happens to be an air shaft that goes directly into the facility. I don't think they'll be building air shafts anymore. That's not a good concept. They wanted to get a little air. They wanted to get a little fresh air. It didn't work out too well. No other country on earth could have done what we did. No other country has the weapons. No other country has the skill. No other country has the guts. And no other country has the extraordinary warriors that we have. We have the best warriors in the world. Because you can have the greatest equipment, but if you don't have the warriors, the equipment doesn't mean much.